Hey everyone, before we dive into this story, if you're enjoying these kinds of real-life dramas and revenge tales, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. The text hit me like an icy wake-up call right to the cheek. I'm crashing at a friend's place for a week. Don't stay up waiting. No details, no phone call, no feeling behind it, just a casual message dropped at 11:47 at night. Like our marriage was some streaming service she could put on hold anytime she got tired of it. I gazed at the glowing screen while the quiet filled our empty home. I didn't text back, not out of bewilderment, but because a part of me suddenly clicked into sharp focus. That evening, surprisingly, I didn't feel hurt. I felt clear-headed. The following day felt strangely silent, her side of the bed untouched and chilly, her scent slowly vanishing from the hall. She actually believed I'd hang around the house like some devoted idiot, constantly checking my phone for tiny scraps of her time. But no, I used that morning to pull together all the red flags I'd brushed off before. Those late-night work sessions, abrupt changes in her mood, unexplained weekend trips, and that fresh boost of self-assurance she'd been carrying lately. The sort of glow that comes only from someone hiding an affair. And this time, I didn't shove those suspicions aside. I leaned into them. On day 2, I accessed her iCloud backup, something she'd overlooked that was linked to my computer. In no time, her hidden world spilled open. Secret chats, erased pictures, resort reservations under aliases, even audio clips where she laughed like a smitten high schooler. The guy was married, older, loaded, the ultimate stereotype. My fingers stayed steady. My heart rate didn't spike. I felt zero emotion except a steely resolve growing stronger, honing itself. She wanted a break for 7 days? Okay, I'd hand her way more independence than she could possibly manage. By midday, I'd reached out to an attorney. We put together the divorce filings with exact care, each section a sharp cut, every part a direct result. Property locked down, finances safeguarded, proof included. The other man's wife ended up helping without realizing it. Her own texts showed she'd been suspicious, but lacked solid evidence. I bundled everything into one devastating package designed to shatter Ashley's carefully built facade. I didn't mail it to her, though. That would have been too simple, too discreet, too lenient. Her supervisor, the guy she admired, looked up to, and worried about, was the ideal target. A high-level leader famous for having no patience with drama. I wrote his name on the envelope, closed it without rushing, and shipped it priority so it'd arrive straight on his desk, impossible to ignore. She'd requested time off, saying she needed a break for her mental health. The twist was perfect. She craved distance. She was about to face a spotlight nobody could escape. That night, as I enjoyed a calm meal alone, my phone buzzed. Package delivered. 3 minutes after that, 2 missed calls. Then 5. 10, 23. Ashley's name flooding the display like an alarm going off. I ignored them all. Didn't even glance over. I just allowed the turmoil I'd unleashed to rage on its own. Her freak out was obvious, even in the quiet alerts. Each buzzed like a yell she couldn't rein in anymore. Then arrived the text that practically screamed her desperation through the words, "Please, please answer." Something went down at work. I left my phone screen down on the counter, ate the rest of my food, cleaned up the kitchen, and let the tension strangle her from afar. She'd always been the one calling the shots, managing how people reacted, twisting feelings to her advantage. Now she was the one wandering back and forth, trembling, coming undone, frantically grasping at the existence she'd wrecked herself. When I eventually looked at the alerts, the text laid it all out. Her boss had called her out in front of everyone, waving the envelope, demanding to know why a staffer on vacation was linked to court papers claiming an affair with a married guy, someone whose business partnered with theirs. She attempted to fib. She tried to brush it off, but the proof in that package stripped away any defense. Colleagues stared. Her standing crumbled, and her boss said they'd talk about her job once she was back. We both knew exactly what that implied. A couple hours later, she showed up at our door, hair tousled, eyes swollen, outfit creased like she'd battled a hurricane. She pounded on it with the frenzy of somebody who'd just grasped how huge their errors were. Please let me in, she yelled. We can sort this out. But I stayed quiet, watching from the upstairs landing as she dropped to the floor, gripping her phone like it was her last hope fading away. She repeated the same pleas again and again. I messed up. I didn't intend for this. You weren't meant to discover it. And that final part revealed it all. She wasn't remorseful about the cheating. She was remorseful about getting exposed. Her crying wasn't over losing us. It was over facing fallout she figured she'd always dodge. For the first time, she saw she wasn't the one moving the pieces. She was merely a pawn in a game she never truly got. When I eventually unlocked the door, she stumbled in like a shadow of who she used to be. Makeup smeared, voice shaky. We can fix us. Please don't go. I didn't fault her for pleading. It's what people do when their whole world falls apart in front of them. But rather than console her, I set one folder down on the coffee table. She grabbed it with unsteady fingers, bracing for another hit. What was inside turned out to be far worse. It held a printout of an email reply, not from her affair partner, not from her boss, but from his wife, Nicole. She'd responded to the info I'd sent earlier. Thanks for sharing the proof. I've passed it all to HR, the executives, and our lawyers. My husband and I are pursuing this together. Your wife destroyed 2 families. But rest assured, we'll ensure she pays with her career as well. Ashley's breathing halted. Her mouth quivered. Her gaze held a fear so intense it seemed fake. She murmured, What? What did you do? I leaned closer, composed, firm, unmoved. Not a thing, I replied. I simply allowed the facts to come out. And right then, shattered, unemployed, humiliated, ditched by her lover, hated by his spouse, her good name reduced to nothing, she at last comprehended the one truth that sealed it all. You didn't step away for just a week. You walked out on your whole future.